Alright, we should be live. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be working on Slay Belle Katarina. As you can tell, why is my stream slow? Sorry about that. We're going to be working on Slay Belle Katarina, and I kind of did some modeling off stream because I wanted to kind of push this progress as far along as possible. So I went here in ZBrush and actually sculpted out the model. I did actually go through and kind of take the time to add some sculpting details. So you can see like the socks have some folds, the gloves as well, and some of the hair. Because I wanted to show you guys like some of the process of baking those details onto lower poly. But for right now, we're just gonna worry about modeling the dagger because that's about the only thing. Sorry, I have to mute. Any other? All right, you should hear me. So right now we're just going to worry about modeling the actual dagger. So let's do that for now. And then we're going to switch over to creating UVs, and she will be ready for texturing. So right now I'm just taking a plane, and I have a reference behind. So hold on, let me change some things here. Okay. I'm going to play some music. I'm trying to set this to a different layer that I can just turn on and off. So what I want to do is just create some edges like this and mirror. Okay. And then I want to do a cross. So we're going to do Y on the object. I think it's Y. Maybe not. Was a Z. Okay. So now I'm going to grab these vertices and just shrink them in, I think. Why is my pivot over there? I'm going to put that back on the middle. Not being very responsive today. Okay. Just going to flip that way. Let's see, freeze my transformations again, pull this down, and I want to move these vertices, reset pivot, there we go. And I want an edge here, so I'm going to create some vertices here, just like that, and then mirror. Pull this up. Merge that there, and all those edges should line up perfectly. Cool. Alright, and then I'm going to, looking at my concept, I believe, let's see, there's like a little bit of thickness on the edge, so we're going to do that. Oops. Then I go to Edit Mesh, Extrude that way, and center again, put it straight in the middle. Cool. So we got the star, and then we're going to do the more complex dagger. So I'm just kind of tracing out the shape according to this is the original concept for the dagger, and I wanted to remake the dagger from scratch just so I can say like I modeled the whole thing from scratch. I don't want to reuse any parts from the original skin. So I'm just roughly tracing out the shape. Maybe not as roughly, but more precise. Okay, and then I'm going to pull these vertices. Make sure those are perfect. It's all about silhouette and just making sure that the vertices are lining up to the concept. Okay, and then I'm going to trace again, and these are going to be the edges, or the pieces that we cut out from the dagger. Okay. Looks like there's a little bit here. All right, and make this other shape. Not really sure how I'm going to approach these very complex extruded pieces, but I guess we'll see when we get there. Let's see, the original dagger, where is it? I believe this is cut here. Yeah, so let's cut that out. Very tiny cut there, but then there's also one here. It looks like it was merged into one cutout, I believe. So we'll leave that as is, I think. And then I'm gonna hide the reference and let's see, I'm gonna triangulate. Just grab these pieces here. and extrude. This is also where I'm going to figure out the dagger thickness. So I'm going to extrude that as well. About there, I guess. Okay. Now it's black, so I need to reverse it. Then I'm going to triangulate these. And it looks like the original mesh just did like a slight beveled kind of cutout there. So we're going to try and replicate that. So we just go to booleans and difference b to a. And there we go. We have our cutouts. Now, the thing I also have to keep in mind, am I muted by the way? Let me check. Okay. I also have to keep in mind these vertices here because it's creating some new ones that I don't want. So I want to merge those away. Like so. And actually I shouldn't have made the thickness just yet. So let's just cut that out. Just working with this plane. See how it's adding all these tiny little vertices that I don't need, that are not helpful? Yeah. I have to go back in and clean those up. The mesh booleans cut, the booleans tool is like not that clean most of the time. So usually I have to go back in and clean it up. Also just select and merge. Like so. Shaping along the way. Merging those. Okay. That's fine. I'm gonna merge this up. Just cleaning up the edges. Oops. Merging these vertices. Hey, hi Louise, welcome to the stream. It's nice to have you here. Welcome, welcome. We're working on retopologizing, or making Katarina's dagger from scratch for Slay Belle. So you're not missing too much just yet. I'm gonna reset this pivot. There. Cool. So I think all those edges are cleaned up. Oh, need to clean up these. And I think that's about it. Let's turn off the reference. Oh, these here. I really don't understand what you're doing, but I think it's really impressive. Thank you. Yeah, so basically what I did was kind of trace out Katarina's dagger shape from the concept art, and what I'm doing right now is just cleaning it up, like the booleans after we've created these holes. So we're creating her dagger from scratch, pretty much. I'm going to extrude and get the thickness this way. Reverse. Then I also want to go back in. Let me take a look. Okay, her base dagger here. I think we're going to extrude again, but extrude the other way, and also put like an offset. So it has kind of a bit of an angle to the edge that we can see from all the different angles in game. Making sure, actually there's an easier way to do this. Set this all to the correct main material layer. This music's weird. Okay, we're back on start, aren't you? Okay. Oops. Harden edge. Alright, so we're gonna grab that outer edge. So I'm just selecting everything and then deselecting that other side. We're gonna extrude and offset. It's gonna add a bit of thickness. Now it's going to do some destructive things in some areas, which is fine. I'm just going to have to go back in and clean it. It's kind of a pain. Okay. This edge here. Just going to merge those vertices. Here as well. Okay, this is doing funky things, so let's put that over to the correct place. What is going on here? For these ones, because it gets so tight, and I still want to have like a complex kind of shape here, I am just going to manually clean it up. Looks good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, perfectly uniform across all of the holes. Okay, just gonna bring this in so I can see what I'm working with. Looks like there's like a vertice here. That has duplicated itself somehow. Merge that. Concept art is so pretty. Yeah, I agree. The original concept gave her blonde hair, which like I think is kind of nice. So I kind of wanted to honor that original concept. And this is the new version that I created, just kind of like mixing the original concepts and her current design. In her current model, like this whole dress area is kind of weird, in my opinion. I don't really understand these straps. So I was like, maybe they're trying to make like a corset type of deal. So I went ahead and just made that like a corset and incorporated some like green strings that unify the bow to her body. And the green color, I wanted to be more of a teal kind of color towards that direction in the color wheel. And instead of like this bluish kind of leather, I opted for something more like Brom, Santa Brom, which is kind of brownish. And the gold colors as well also match up with Brom. So just kind of tying in those skins together. Because if you see them in game, you want them to feel like they're part of the same kind of batch of skins. Which obviously they weren't, because Santa Brom's newer. I love the blonde hair. You did such a nice job. It's perfect. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% on the blonde hair. We'll see, like, when we get to the texturing phase, how I feel about it. Because I know some people, they kind of like the ginger hair color. What is happening here? Okay. Correct what's happening here. I think if I didn't triangulate the model, then this probably wouldn't have happened. I'm not sure though. I would have to like test it out on my own to see. So even though this isn't black, there's definitely some weird stuff happening here. So I'm just gonna merge that away. And things should be looking good. I'm not seeing any issues. Cool. Did I say, I know some people like the ginger hair color, so I might change that for texturing phase. But I'm not sure until I get to that stage in the process. I mean, the model of the hair is going to remain the same, so. What is happening? Oh, okay. I need to mirror across the y-axis, I believe. Z-axis. 0.01. Delete. Should be no problems. I'm going to triangulate again, just to make sure there's no quads. And we should be good. So there we go. We hide that. Got Katarina's dagger. Of course, I need to sharpen that edge, but I'm gonna do the handle now, and then we'll go back to that. And then she should be ready for UVs. I want to do like a special recall to the skin because like the current version is just her cutting a candy cane, which really isn't that entertaining. So I was thinking like maybe she opens up like a present. She gets like a present delivered to her, and she opens it up, and it's like maybe a Garen toy or something. And she's like, at first she's like super excited, and then she gets embarrassed. She's like, oh no, and then she like hides it because she's scared to show it. So I think that'd be like a cute kind of reference to Garen, but also give some personality to the recall. It's kind of boring. I'll need to make a concept for the Garen toy. Oh, actually, I think there is one out there. From the Dino skin, there is splash art that actually features. Oops. The Dino skin does have. It has like a toy Katarina in it. I believe there's a Garen as well. Super cute. I want to see if I can make something like that. It's like an action figure. So, if that'd be cute. And I think the idea behind the skin is that maybe she's supposed to be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I guess, because of the antlers. um, I don't think, maybe the concept artist didn't really give it that much thought and was like, oh, I just want to make her like sexy Christmas type of skin. There's no real thought behind it, but I mean, I guess that was the idea with Slay Belle, or not Slay Belle, but Candy Cane Misfortune as well. Just kind of like a sexy holiday skin. Not really meant to be anything. But maybe she's supposed to be like the Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer kind of reference in a way. So I could also like put her on a sled, I guess. Maybe there's like a bunch of reindeer poros that follow her and she's like running away from them. I'm not sure. If I wanted to go for that direction with the recall, then I could do that. What is up my pivot here? Reset pivot orientation. Okay, maybe it needs to be set to world. There we go. Alright, just straightening these edges. Going to offset and extrude. I think the original dagger on the model is pretty roundish. I'm not sure how they made that shape, but let's try and figure it out. I want one straight down the middle that I can just pull out. Like so. I really love the Udyr rework that they did. He really turned out so great. I mean, the gameplay is kind of not that fun to play against, but I'm sure it's fun to play. They did a great job of kind of amplifying his design in a more modern way. I really hope that Gragas and Zillion get ASUs or reworks pretty soon. because they are just, their models are so bad. They really deserve it. Those poor guys. I'm pretty sure most of the reason why Zillion doesn't get skins is because of how bad his rig is. Well, part of it probably has to do with how low his play rate is as well. But a mid-scope could fix it. Okay, triangulating. I think that's good enough for a handle. According to my concept, yeah, it's about the same thing. Okay, and I want to make this part thicker. And this to be thinner. Center pivot. So what I'm going to do with the whole thing is mirror across the Y, or the Z, I mean. 0.01, 0.01. Okay, cool. So it's perfectly symmetrical on either side. Maybe thin this out just a bit. Kind of what I did with my Cafe Cutie dagger. Let's see, the concept. I don't really like how the dagger, like blade, kind of just roughly sticks itself into the star. So, especially with this whole, like, I don't want that. So let me think. I kind of want to raise the whole thing up just a bit. And maybe pull this part down with soft select. Nah, looks wrong. I mean, this might be fine, honestly. I just want that edge to come out a little bit more. See the original dagger. Whatever. Maybe I can kind of extrude this a bit. Give it a bit of an edge. Alright. I think the daggers are done for now. I'm not going to worry about the recall assets just yet because I have to actually make a concept for those. So I think what I'll do is try and leave space in the UVs for those. And they don't have to really be that big. So let's go ahead and start working the UVs. So I'm going to start with the dagger. Because this is symmetrical on either side, I'm going to delete everything on this side. And this will be nice because the UVs will pretty much be almost accurate to the actual like side view shape. The star is messing up for some reason. Decided to separate itself into multiple faces, so let's combine, merge, 0.01, camera, unfold, there we go. unfold. I think that's fine. I don't like how tight this area is getting. So what's going on here? Let's take a look. Okay, I can see the beveled edge is not really showing. So I want to give that more visibility. I also don't think I need this. Actually, I do. I'm going to try and clean up the tries here so they're not so tight. Merge those. Okay. See if the same thing is applicable elsewhere. Nope. Let's try unfolding this again. I mean, I could also do camera based from this side view. Let me see, it's not listening for some reason. Unfold. Oh, my mind is being slow. Okay, I'm gonna have to restart my. It's gonna have to restart. Waiting on my so if you guys don't already know, the texture or the retopology or the general process for creating a 3D model for skins kind of goes like ZBrush sculpting, Maya retopology, and low poly, and creating UVs, and that's kind of what we're doing right now. And then we get to the texturing, and then we finally rig. Sometimes I like to combine multiple of these processes, so I'll combine like the ZBrush sculpting and Maya retopology at the same time. And then sometimes I'll do the low poly modeling and the UV shell at the same time. So the texturing is kind of its own monster. Like you can't really combine that with other stuff because you have to already have the UV shells perfectly where you want it to be. You can always go back and adjust it and like retexture, but it's kind of a bit of a pain. So you kind of want to have those UVs perfectly set before you begin texturing. And then rigging, I mean, you can even finish the model and skip the texturing phase and go straight to rigging, but I think it's important to kind of get like a rough texture going on so that you can kind of visualize how it's going to look in game before you start rigging, in case you want to like add new stuff or change things around. So I think texturing, you really have to focus on doing that as its own thing, but other stuff throughout the process you can kind of combine. And then after all that, you import it to the game and finalize it. I usually don't finalize my texture before I get to the rigging process and also import it in game, just so I can see how everything looks. Because you want to see how, see, look, I set it to camera based. It's kind of stretched, I can stretch it, and it's honestly kind of perfect. If I unfold, it's not really that great. But the problem is I don't really see, like, actually, yeah, I don't really see this edge here because it's so flat. As I was saying, I don't really finish the texture until like after I put it in game because I want to see how it looks with all the animations. I think what I want to do here is actually, let me just unfold it and orient the shell. going to mirror across the other side. And because I want this edge to be sharp, let me just save real quick. I'm going to merge these vertices. And I only have to worry about one side. I might want this edge to be less sharp, so I might leave it like that. But this edge I do. So that's where she cuts. I might leave that bit there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and all these vertices that we merged, I want to extrude just a little bit so we can see that on the edge. Let's get to the side view, transform, and just slightly pull it out. Same thing with this one. I think what I'll do is kind of like mold this dagger edge away from the star so it's not eating into it. Okay. There's something here. Okay, dokie. I want to make sure this edge is perfect because the silhouette is really important. I'm going to kind of round this out just a bit more. There. Cool. Then we can mirror. Like so. And it's creating a vertice here that I don't want, so I'm going to get rid of that here as well. Across all these vertices actually. I'm going to pull this out just a bit. Oops. What's going on? Just a bit. So you can see that edge. Cool. Alright, let's merge these vertices. I want this to be pointy. I'm going to shrink the whole top side of the model, so I'm just going to use soft select and just give it some thin. Okay, it's good. Mirror again just to make sure that it's perfect. Okay, that edge like that. It's all about perfection. Now I want to see if, okay, the unfold didn't really help me out that much. What's nice about the camera view is that you can get like a pretty nice accurate shape to how your dagger looks. Whereas if I go in and unfold, it's going to give me like a bit of a different shape, and it's kind of rough too. But because we can kind of see those edges, I can go in here and just adjust them so that they're not overlapping. And it looks good. Everything goes on. Going to mirror. Okay, perfect. And then did we do this one? Yes, we did. I'm gonna mirror all these pieces. Cool. Now we have our dagger. And I'm gonna go in and start UVing the body. So for the body, what I did when I was making the model for the legs, I just kind of made it as like straight as possible. The UVs are a bit of a mess right now because there's so much stuff happening. So I'm gonna extrude these parts that I actually did UVs for. And those UVs are way up here. So when modeling this, I kind of made sure to keep in mind the topology and just try to make it like linear straight down. And there was no tries. So because of that, I was able to keep like a very perfect, just like we did for tubes whenever we make a seam straight down one of the edges, we get like a straight UV straight down. So when I go in and texture this, and these are for the legs, and add stripes across, it's going to be like a perfect straight line. There's not going to be any like squiggling or weird stuff happening. And that's what's happening to the current version of the model. There's like some waviness to it. But with these UVs, we can just make a line straight across, and we don't have to worry about that, which is going to make it super easy for 2D texturing. Told you to forget me. What I said. I'm going to take a look at these parts that stick out. Everything goes on. Sometimes Maya gets like a little finicky when you isolate. But it's okay. Delete history. I always make sure to delete history because it just keeps things clean. For some reason, when you make changes to the model, like Maya likes to store the history. Not really sure why, because you can always just, like, even if you delete history, I can do Control Z and it'll bring back the changes that I made. But you always want to delete history because it kind of keeps things clean. It keeps your Maya running fast as well. And it's less prone to crashing. So if you feel like you're crashing a lot with Maya, that's probably the reason why. Like your modeling or whatever has too much history. Skip that terrible song. So right there, I just made a back face here because we don't really see that part. I made that its own UV and it's going to be really tiny. So that'll help optimize the visible areas. Doing the same thing here. Most of this model is perfectly symmetrical on the x-axis. So I think there's going to be a lot of mirrored UVs. That's going to really help to like make our texture quality really high overall. Unfold. Turn off the texture. Okay, I'm gonna grab UV shells and then Control or Shift I believe. No, it's Control. Okay, wait, did I accidentally? No. Whenever your mesh turns green, it's because for some reason, oh, what happened? For some reason, Maya decides it doesn't know what the material is. So you have to set it to, you have to reassign the material. I don't know what happened. I lost the UVs. I have to redo them. Okay, camera unfold, then Shift I. No, it's not Shift I. Sometimes I press buttons without knowing what I'm doing. Control I? No. Shift Control I believe. No. Okay. There's a way to invert the selection. I forgot. I forgot how to do it just now. Shoot. But that's okay. I'll just pull these out, extract these faces, and UV those, unfold. Alright, now we got that. And because it's mirrored, I'm going to delete the other side. And yeah, I can create a UV layer just to hide everything that is already UV'd. Delete all by history, oops, merge, delete by history. Okay, UV. Now this is going to be mirrored across itself, so this is the only bow that is fully mirrored. Good evening, welcome Cloppy. It's nice to have you here on the stream. We are putting UVs. We are using Slay Belle Katarina. I modeled her off stream. Camera based. Going to extract these hanging bits. Delete this other side. It's giving me an error. Unfold. There. Cool. Going to do camera based and then mirror. And this way I can delete the other side if I want. But I'm just going to grab the faces that we don't really see. Grab all this. Okay. Louise said, your concept is giving Mean Girls. OMG. Thank you. I think that's kind of what I was going for, to be honest. Katarina's very mean girl. .01. Alright, those are perfectly mirrored. Okay, and that's UV. Let you throw that somewhere else. And these are the legs. The legs are going to be pretty small in UVs because we don't really see them. And the skirt is going to be using her Battle Queen rig, but because it's not really like that long of a skirt, it's not as long as her tailcoat, it's not really going to move that much, I don't think. So, and this will be mirrored. So I'm going to, I just now create the seams, I'm going to mirror it and delete what I don't need. Unfold. Was wondering, do you do these concepts just for fun, or do you plan to make them playable custom skins? You have my vote for the ASU. They will be playable custom skins. For right now, like, because I have a lot of work to do for her animations to change them up, I am just kind of working on other skins and showing you guys those. But as soon as the base skin is like, with the animations are done, then I'll release that as a mod, and you guys can play with it. But I also want to showcase the different skins so we have stuff to look at. I don't really want to record my animation process because it's pretty messy, I feel like. Like, I'm not really a professional animator, and I don't think it's going to be entertaining to watch me struggle with animating. Holy shit, that's dope, man. Thank you, yeah. Do you have something in mind for Blood Moon? Not really, but I do actually like want to remake it somehow because I know a lot of people weren't really fans of how that skin turned out. So I do want to deliver on what people want. Oh, my Maya is doing its thing again. Okay, so let me restart it again. I mean, she's kind of ugly. Yeah. Yeah, the Blood Moon design right now is like very messy in my opinion. It's kind of like a cluttered mess. They did have some concepts for her. Let's see. They did have like concepts that I thought were cooler, but oops, accidentally opened my eye twice. But they're not like perfect in my opinion. It'd be nice to have a concept artist help me out with like getting a new design for her. But if it comes down to it and I don't have anyone who's willing to help me out, then I'll make a concept myself. Because this is going to be mirrored, I don't have to worry about putting a seam down the middle. Why am I bugging out again? No, right? I'm sure you'll do a great job as always. Thank you, Louise. I appreciate it. So just like with Project Ergot, we are cleaning up some of these vertices that are not merged for some reason. I can set the merging to a higher value and it'll do it for me, but the problem is some of these vertices are quite close and they're supposed to be, so. What's going on here? There's a seam. Means some of my vertices are not merged. Okie dokie. Seam should go away. It's not going away. Okay. Maybe that means that there's some faces in there. No? Okay, so why are you not merging? Let me take this arm and unfold it. What is going on here? What is going on there, partner? Hey, oh, hi, Killer A. Welcome to the stream. Honestly, I'm going to be ending it here pretty soon, because we're about at the 1 hour mark, but I'm glad you showed up. I might stream a little bit later, like tomorrow, maybe at 10 o'clock is when I'll start. or 1030. We'll see. You feel like you do no damage with Blood Moon Katarina? I kind of agree, to be honest. There's something about the VFX and the sounds that like don't feel that way. But I think this, especially with animation, this could be interesting. As for concepts, I'm sadly not that talented, but I think animations and everyone has something to say. You mean like if I'm showing the animation process, I can ask for feedback? Yeah, I think you're right. But I don't know, I feel like I'm not skilled enough to be like able to address feedback in an effective way, because I just don't really have that much experience with animation. So it's like, yeah, I understand your feedback, but I'm gonna struggle to get there, is the thing. I thought I just did this UV. The heck? Unfold? Okay. I missed the streams yet, but now I gotcha. We understand, understandable. Just do it, you'll feel better. Yeah. Yeah, I feel more comfortable just doing it off stream. Most of the animations are kind of the same as Battle Queen. Like, the only difference is like there's like very slight adjustments to the way she holds the daggers. And some of them are like, it's kind of the same animation, but then it has like very slight changes to it. I mean, it's not like small changes though. It's not like enough to where it's literally the same thing, but you can kind of tell that it was kind of layered, like the changes. So I actually want to separate out this dress from, actually maybe the corset. Let me see the whole body. Because she has hair here, I want to put like a shadow, and I want to do that for the texturing. So that part is asymmetrical, which means I'll probably want the shadow to extend down to the corset, which means I will have the skirt mirrored. And then for the corset, there's like this piece of cloth underneath that's a gold color. So I can just close this off here. The reason I included that gold was because I wanted to tie in the daggers. Kind of unifying the design elements. So the corset is separate. Most importantly, the skirt is separate as well. So for the skirt, I'm going to go in and create a seam for the inner part that we don't really see. This will be a much smaller UV. And it looks like with the mirroring, this kind of did some weird stuff. So merge those vertices here as well. Okay. If you guys have any questions for today, please go ahead and ask. We'll be wrapping up the stream here in a few minutes. So go ahead and just fire off, and I'll answer them at the end. So I'm going to mirror so I don't have the arm on the other side. Okay. Separate out the hands. And this part I'm going to not going to be mirrored. So because it's not going to be mirrored, I have to kind of think about how I'm going to separate it. I'm going to do like a seam here at the neck because we have a choker hiding it. So, and then I can go in and create a seam on the side of her arm. Kind of goes like this. That way this can all, actually I think the back can be mirrored. That part can be mirrored, but the front cannot because of the hair. Okay, then there's some seams here that I don't want. That's because the vertices are not merged. And just sewing that, okay. Oh, I also have to do a seam along this side. It's kind of rough, but it's fine. Turn off symmetry, and the front part should be separated from the back. Cool. Unfold. Nice. And unfold the back. The back is going to be symmetrical. The neck, I'm not sure I can make symmetrical because of the hair is kind of not perfectly symmetrical. So we're going to keep a seam at the back, but the front is going to be sewn together. Unfold. Cool. I'm going to extract this back, these back shells, and mirror. Cool. So yeah, the back is good. So yeah, this part will be asymmetrical in terms of the texture. But I think that's it for today, guys. I'm gonna answer the questions before I leave, but in terms of modeling and the UV, I mean, that's where we're gonna stop it. There's really not that much to this model. So what I might do is, if whatever you guys want, I can either continue creating UVs and then we can go straight into the texturing, or I can make a concept for the recall assets and kind of workshop an idea for what I'm going to do for the whole animation, and then start modeling like those little toys in the present or whatever. But just let me know in the comments what you guys want. You can let me know in the stream as well for right now. There's only a few questions here, I think, or just some comments that I'll read. So Louise says, to be honest, Slay Belle ginger hair looks kind of yellowish, like gold to me, so I don't think the change to blonde hair was bad. I agree, like some of the fan arts are kind of like more yellow territory, and then sometimes it's like this strong orange color. So, I mean, it's not that much of a difference, but I mean, blonde is basically like a desaturated orange color anyway. It's just brighter. I mean, I do like the original hair color. Like, I don't have a problem with it at all. Where's the model? In-game model. I think it's really nice. But I was thinking, you know what? Maybe just to honor the original concept, we can kind of bring this back, that hair color. I was going to say it earlier when we were talking about the hair, but I forgot. Yeah. I also don't have a problem. Yeah. But I like yours better. Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, we'll figure out if we want to change that during the texturing phase anyway. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining on the stream and watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, uh, hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I'm going live. Tomorrow I might start a bit later. We'll see. We'll see what my schedule looks like. But yeah, that's it for today. So, bye. Thank you for joining the stream. End stream.